Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Wax Maid Dabber Diamond Dab of the Day. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. As always, since I know you'll enjoy the video, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, tell your friends, send a like, and I respond to all the comments. And I am caught up now. Let's get started with today's topic. Unfortunately, I've been going through a lot of pain. Many of us out there, many of you, are going through a lot of pain. Do you know we can trick our brain into not feeling pain or feeling less pain? We need to discuss. Let's get started. Pain is, for the most part, unavoidable when you stub your toe, break your arm, or cut your finger open. In fact, it's instantaneous and in some cases long-lasting, but it only feels as bad as you want it to. Yes, that is right, I said it. That pain is all in our heads. Now, I'm not saying pain's an imaginary symptom of an injury. It is real. It's basic physiology. But pain is produced by the brain. And there may be a few ways we can trick our brain into making those unpleasant feelings go away without using pain medicine. You got to understand how your brain deals with pain. The pain we feel when we hurt is controlled and directed by our brain circuitry. As the brain filters all information coming in from the different sensory nerves in our body, it focuses on certain bits and pieces in particular. The brain can say, hey, that's interesting. Turn up the volume on that pain information that's coming in. Or it can say, oh no, let's turn down the volume and pay less attention to it. Our brain processes pain both physically, where it notes the location and intensity, and emotionally, where it dictates your reaction. For example, you feel a sharp stabbing pain shoot down your leg. That's your brain's interpretation of physical intensity. But when you find yourself shrieking out loud in response, it's your brain's emotional response. So what does this all have to do with pain management? With the horror I live in? Well, if you know what exactly sets off your brain's emotional responses to injury, maybe we can better control what we feel, or at least how we think we feel. What if we overloaded ourselves with positivity to lessen the hurt? It might sound ridiculous, particularly when you're suffering from pain that seems insurmountable. But positive thoughts and emotions can actually counteract some of the bad feelings when we're feeling nothing but negativity, like fear, insecurity. We create perfect breeding grounds for pain. The weaker or more negative our mind is, the more we feel the full effects of whatever's ailing us. Conversely, when you feel safe, secure, and comfortable, whatever you encounter, whatever pain there is, you respond with less physical feeling. Surprisingly, just as pain can build over time and make us feel even weaker, positive thoughts grow and compound as well. There's research that shows the more you tweak with your perspective and focus on the positive, rather than giving in to your negative tendencies, the stronger your emotional resilience becomes. However, you need to actually overwhelm yourself with positivity to reap pain-relieving benefits. Because the negative bias is so strong and inherent in our brain, the brain actually requires almost a 3-to-1 positive experience for it to actually be put in motion. So what we need to do, the project, the solution, is to distract our brain from feeling the pain, to change the way it sees it. The brain filters and determines how and to what extent we feel pain. So maybe in order to control what we feel, we need to find a way to manage what's in our brain sensors to pick up. Well, what happens? How do we do it? Well, we can teach our brains to filter out certain pains. Possibly pains that are chronic. The repeated messages from a spot on our body filled with pain dull over time as the brain becomes used to receiving them, thus lessening the emotional and physical sensation. Interesting. So maybe if we want to train our brain to forget about pain, you don't need to develop a chronic condition. You simply need to become familiar with the sensations so your brain recognizes them. Much like the familiar habit of snapping rubber bands or pinching wrists to break habits. Think about it. The more of one kind of pain we encounter, possibly the less it will hurt. You know, sidebar. I used to say to Mrs. Stoner all the time, the back is a familiar pain. The other pains in my body scare the hell out of me. The back, I know. I know that's weird. It's the worst pain I have sometimes. But you have it. You've had it. It's yours. What if we practice mindfulness? Well, we get into the setting, you start the meditation, and yes, you can possibly relieve pain. It's not an instantaneous act, but with time and practice, you may be able to adapt your brain to handle the bump, cut, and injury with ease. Focusing in on the body so that it becomes numb in the most necessary situations. You see, what we are doing, what we're learning to do, is we're learning to focus on sensations that make up the pain. Is there burning? Is there throbbing? Is there tingling? Is it hot? Is it cold? Are there waves of sensations in which the pain gets more intense and less intense? The separating out of sensation is called sensory splitting, and it helps us see what we've been thinking of as permanent pain. Truly, it may be constantly changing pain. And when you separate sensations in that manner, pain is no longer a thing. So you're much less likely to be carried away by stress-filled thoughts, as the pain will never go away. You might even be able to drop the word pain and start calling it a bad sensation. Doing that might help. It might help with human nature if we call a select sensation or a collection of sensations pain, and now change that word and call it to a bad sensation. You know what? We're bringing kindness into it. We're actually talking about a good thing. We're treating it as if it was a child in pain, switching the attention to the part of our body that is pain-free. When you see a child that hurt its finger, you kiss the finger, cover the boo-boo, and then move on, right? What are you doing? You're not letting that pain become the predominant sensation in that child's brain. This isn't a secret. You're moving pleasant or interesting sensations to replace the pain. Why not? We can try imagery. Wherever the place is you like, wherever you want to see yourself, fishing, getting a massage, whatever it is, put yourself there. Take your mind off the pain using imagery, and guess what? It can reduce your overall pain load. And you've got to be patient with all the things we're talking about. This is not a one and done kind of thing, okay? But the human mind is a funny thing. It really is. Distraction has become more of a solution than ever before. Perspective has become a solution for people. Pain can knock you off your game. But not as far off if we train ourselves to frame it in a different light. If we experience pain, you got to not get emotionally involved with it. You got to eliminate the upset. What do you think about that? Detach yourself from how it happened and simply deal with it as another thing. Now, might not be so simple. However, do you know there was a research study done that discovered that if you cough as a needle enters, you go like that, you don't feel the sting? What do you think with that? So breathing through things, getting ourselves in that mindful, self-anesthetic state of mind really is important because you, us, any one of us can improve the pain everywhere from acute pain to chronic lower back pain to abdominal pain. We have the ability to improve it and ease our pain. Whether we distract ourselves from it, whether we minimize it by realizing it's going to pass, whatever our trick is, we have the ability to trick the brain and trick the pain. This is the Real Senior Stoner with the Wax Maid Dabber. Thanks for joining me, everybody. As always, you know what to do if you like this video, as I know you did. Cheers, everyone, and have a wonderful day. And once again, thanks for joining the Real Senior Stoner. You can do it. You can get past that pain. Cheers. Let's not let the pain tell us what to do. Let's us tell the pain what to do. One more hit with our Wax Maid. Cheers, everybody. It's hard. Thanks for joining me. Remember, everybody, we can trick our brains to minimize our pain. Cheers.